Hey everybody, thought I'd try something a little bit different again today. Today, I thought about introducing something that I purchased about a year or so ago and been sitting on my shelf, hadn't really used it. And then I used it yesterday to actually keep score in the Nationals' victory over the Reds, opening day victory, 2-0. And I wanted to talk about this because I think it's a great scorebook. It's called Bob Carpenter's Scorebook. Bob Carpenter is the play-by-play voice of the Nationals, and he's had this scorebook out for a while, and a lot of announcers use this scorebook. It's probably a little more detailed than what we need for our purposes of rolling dice, but it's sort of, if I had to compare it to anything, it's sort of like if anybody has seen the 1-for-5 scorebooks that were sold. I had one last year for the Orioles replay of payoff pitch. It's sort of like that because it's really, really detailed. And so what I'll do very quickly is show you the score sheet that I did for the game yesterday. You can see the final score was 2-0 with Max Scherzer getting the win, Bailey the loss, and Doolittle the save. It was opening day, March 30th, 2018. And it's on two different pages, one for each team. There is a lot of space between, on each line, so there is room for substitutions. So that's why there's only 9 blocks. There's not like 12 or 13 because there's so much room there. And in the game, the Nationals did pull a double switch. They had Goodwin pinch hitting for Scherzer, and he stayed in the game to play left field. They took Adam Eaton out of left field and brought the pitchers in. So I've got a place here for Kinsler, Madsen, and then Adams pinch hit for Madsen, and then Doolittle came in. The blocks for each individual at bat are very, there's a lot of space there, a lot of room to write. So here is if anybody saw the highlights, Michael Taylor led off the top of the ninth with a bunt single. Then he stole second while Wieters was at bat. That's why I have SB8 there to say that he did that during Wieters at bat. Then Wieters hit a ground ball to short, but Taylor still went to third, which is why I have the 8 here, putting him at third base. And then Goodwin hit the sacrifice fly to left to bring in Taylor. That's why the 9's there to give the credit to the RBI to the 9th batter. So even that something that detailed and all that stuff right there all fit in that block, no problem. And this is the visiting side. And when you have the visiting side here, you got a place here to put all the defensive players for each team. And if I was playing Strat, then I'd have room to put their ratings here as well. Sort of like what you do on replay baseball, where you can put the little ratings in the book. And also think the 1-for-5 scorecard does the same thing. Down here, it's got a place for the bench players, so we know who's available to be used for the Nationals, or for the visiting team in this case. They had 3 left-handed pinch hitters and 1 switch hitter in Defoe. And then on this side, you got the bullpen guys for the Reds, because you got the Reds pitching line here. You can see they used Bailey, Garrett, Peralta, Quackenbush, and Hughes. And they still had Stevens, Bryce, Weiss, and Reed left over. And then as they used each one, you cross them off. It tells you they had 3 left-handed relievers, and they had 5 right-handed relievers. So as you're going through the game, it kind of at a glance tells you who's available and who is not. And the same thing over here on this side. We've got the Reds score sheet, and you can see a lot of K's there because Scherzer was dealing. And again, even it's an extra long spot here for the pitcher spot, but when they bat the pitcher 8th, that kind of threw things off a little bit. So we had a place still down here for Duvall to pinch hit, and I put 7 to say he pinch hit in the 7th inning, and then Irvin pitch hit in the 9th. And then I draw these little solid lines to kind of say that's where the change is taking place. And then Mesoraco pinch hit for Barnhart in the 9th. So again, that's why it's PH9 with a little slash there. And then you got a place up here for the Nationals defensive players. And you got a place up here to put the umpires. So those were the umpires for the game, along with the ballpark. Place for the line score. And then also down here, you got a place for the Reds pinch hitters. They didn't have any lefties on the bench. They had all right-handers. I think Pennington's a switch hitter. Everybody else was on this side. Then you had the perfect alignment there for Nats. Scherzer going 6th, and then the KMD combination, much like the 2015 Royals had, with those 3 relievers, Kinsler, Madsen, and Doolittle, all took an inning and worked things out all right. And then here is your bullpen for the Nationals. They had 4 righties and 4 lefties. Very unusual to have 4 left-handed relievers for them to have available. All right, then you come over here, and again, we had put the total line score here. If there was the middle of a season, you could put down, how many games back there are, a place to put the standings and all that good stuff. Since I was recording or scoring an actual game, I did put the start time, the finish time. It's 3 hours and 9 minutes, which to me, it didn't seem like 3 hours and 9 minutes because it was a very entertaining game. I didn't have any problem with the pace of play whatsoever. So anyway, that's just my little take here on the Bob Carpenter score sheet, or scorebook, I should say. And this book, this is enough. I got the radio version, and it's enough to score 200 games on. So pretty good deal. So now what I've done, I'm going to try it out with my Strat-O-Matic. So I've got the opening day game between the Nationals and the Marlins from last year. So if we come over here to the visiting side, you can see the lineup for the Marlins. And then up here, you got the Nationals defense, and I was able to put the Strat-O-Matic ratings in here for them. It was played on 4/3/17. Come over here, we're at Nationals Park. Got the umpires that actually umpired the game, although, of course, Strat doesn't use the umpires. I did roll the D20 for April day game. It came up bad weather. So since it's bad weather, the hitting prowess is being reduced. Lefties 1-2 for a single, righties 1-11 for a single. Home runs for lefties 1-3, righties 1-9. And again, the place to put the defensive players for the Marlins, along with the defensive ratings. There you get the Nationals starting lineup and who's on their bench. So I know who's available readily. 6 players on the bench. You got Volquez, the starter. And then you've got the Marlins bullpen. Notice they don't have any lefties. We've got 7 guys available in the bullpen, and they're all right-handed. Whereas the Nationals have 3 lefties and 4 righties in their bullpen. And then the bench for the Marlins has Ichiro and then 3 righties over there to face Strasburg. So I did also get new envelopes. So new stickers, I should say. I already had the envelopes. I got new stickers and made it so we now are at 2017 for this opening day game between the Marlins and the Nats. It's Edison Volquez taking on Steven Strasburg. And all those festivities are out of the way. We'll be right back for first pitch. Okay, we're ready for first pitch. It's D. Gordon facing Steven Strasburg. 2-5 for Gordon against a righty is a 1 for a triple. Anything else will be a solid single. And D. Gordon may be running. It is a single, so a leadoff single for D. Gordon. And that means he can be running. We'll check his prowess. Get a jump. It's 3 through 6 to get that jump. And it's a 6, so he does get the jump. So he will be starting with a 19. He's being held, so that'll make him a 17. And then we'll check the pitcher hold rating for Strasburg. He's a -1. And Wieters defensively is a 0. So start with a 19, go to 17, and -1 makes it a 16. So a 1 to 16, he will make it. And he is in there for a solid single and stolen base for D. Gordon. D. Gordon Liddy has gotten the Marlins off to a good start. Single and stolen base. Brings up the catcher, JT Realmuto. So let's see what Realmuto can do. Nothing on the D20. We get a 2-7 for Realmuto, and that's a solid single with 2 stars. That'll be a run scored. And just like that, the Marlins are off to a 1-0 lead. Thanks to Gordon and Realmuto. So that brings up Yelich. Nothing for the D20. Yelich, a 2-9. And that's another single, potentially, or a double. 1 to 11 would be a double. And Strasburg's not happy because nothing is coming off of his card. So a 1 to 11 is a double. And that's exactly what it is. It's a double, but there's 2 stars. So Realmuto has to stop at third. But early trouble here as Strasburg is really in trouble now, facing Giancarlo Stanton. And they're tempted to load the bases with first base open and go for a double play. And you know what? I think they're definitely considering it. Yeah, they're going to go ahead and do it. They're going to go ahead and put Stanton on. So that's going to load the bases with nobody out for Justin Bour, who is a double play candidate. The infield is in. They want to cut the run off. So they want to get the double play, but they want to come home with it. We'll roll the D20, make sure nothing happens there. It does not. So Justin Bour. Again, we're off the batter card. 1-9 is a potential home run. Strasburg's really biting the bullet here. 1-7 would be a grand slam. It's a 17, so it's a double, but that's going to be at least 2 runs. We'll check on Stanton and see if he can score. He was not being held, obviously, because he's a trail runner. And he runs. Let's check Stanton's run rating. Stanton runs at a 12. And the double is assumed to go to center field. So that's Adam Eaton. Eaton's arm is a -1. So it'd make it 11. So they're going to go ahead and hold Stanton, especially with nobody out. No sense taking any chances. So runners are at second and third with nobody out. 3 runs are in. And here's Marcell Ozuna. And you're halfway tempted to walk him intentionally. And that's what they're going to do. Going to walk him intentionally, set up the force at any base against a lighter hitting Derek Dietrich as we get into the bottom of the order. Nothing on the 20. Not how Dusty Baker planned it. Finally get one off Strasburg's own card. It's a 6-5 and it's a strikeout. Strasburg said, see, you let me go off my own card, I'll do something. And he did. He struck out Dietrich. Big strikeout there. Now the infield can go back to regular double play depth because there is 1 out, bases loaded for Hechavarria. And a double play standard 6-4-3 type would get him out of the inning with no further damage. Nothing on the 20. Hechavarria. It's a 5-4. Strasburg 5-4 is a catcher X. And that is Wieters. And Wieters is a 4 E2. So the 4 could be troublesome. Let's take a look on the defensive chart here for catchers. That is a 10, a 4, and a 10 is a P/P. And it's a 10 here, and he's an E2. E2, there is no 10. Let's go to P/P. P/P says, let's see, when using balk, wild pitch, pass ball rules, refer to super advanced rules found to see if a pass ball occurs. So I believe that means we go to the wild pitch rating of Strasburg. He's a 3. So we're going to roll the D20 to see if there is in fact a wild pitch, or pass ball, I should say. And there's not. So we're going to issue that and just keep the regular bat going. Hechavarria, it's a 5-5. And that's a strikeout. So Strasburg coming back to strike 2 in a row out. And now we got the pitcher, Volquez. He's going to bat before he pitches. He's hitting off pitcher hitting card number 3. Bases still loaded with 2 outs. Nothing on the 20. And that's a 6-5, and that's another strikeout. So Strasburg, when he got to his own card, he struck out the side. When the hitters got what they wanted, they put up 3 runs. And that's exactly what they did. So it's 3-0 in favor of the Marlins here after half an inning. And the Marlins sent the whole group to the plate. All 9 batters came to the plate. So now the Nationals have their work cut out for them. And Volquez will go in to get started with the pitching. And he'll be facing leadoff hitter Trey Turner, shortstop for the Nationals. He'll be facing Trey Turner. That's a 4-6 against a right-hander. That's a walk. So a leadoff walk to Turner. And that's the last thing you want to do when you have a 3-0 lead, to start walking guys. Turner, to get the jump, 2 through 6 or an 11 and a 12 would get him picked off. They'll try it. It's a 4, so he does get the lead. So that's a 19. Volquez is a +9 hold rating, so no matter what the catcher is, it's going to be a +5. So the 19 is being held, makes him a 17, but the +5 makes him a 22, but you can't be that high. As high as you get is 19. So anything other than a 20, and he'll make it. And that's a 1, so it's a potential throwing error on Realmuto. He not only stole the base, but now we go to the T rating on Realmuto, and that's a 1 to 5. So if it's the 1 through 5, we get a throwing error. We do not. It's just simply a stolen base. So Turner trying to get things going for the Nationals. Here's Adam Eaton. Turner at second and nobody out. Nothing doing there on the 20. It's a 4-7 against a lefty. That's a walk. So Volquez, not able to stand prosperity, is giving up the first 2 base runners. And now the big boys are coming up. Here's Bryce Harper. Nothing on the 20. That's a 2-7 for Harper against a right-hander, and that's a 1-13 double. 14-20 is a single. 2 stars, so only 1 run would score even on a double. And it is a double. So it's a double for Harper. RBI double. Turner will score. And Eaton will go to third. So runners at second and third, nobody out. 1 run in. It's down to a 3-1 lead now for Daniel Murphy. And they're not going to walk Murphy intentionally, load the bases. They're just going to go and play it out. It's a 2, so that's a potential for either a balk or a pass ball. We're checking the balk. Volquez has no balk rating, though, so we skip that. Keep going. Infield's playing back. They want to get the out. 5-9 against a lefty. Ground ball shortstop X. That is Hechavarria. And Hechavarria is a 1 E7. 1 E7, that's a 20, and that's an 18. So that could be interesting with that 18. That could be a boot. And it is. 18s typically are 2 base errors, and in this case it is with an E7. So that is a 2 base error on Hechavarria. That will score both runners. E6. And that brings in Harper and Eaton. We'll give an RBI to Murphy on the Eaton run because he would score on the ground out anyway. But Harper will score and will be no RBI. It'll be because of the E6. So, just like that, it's a 3-3 ball game, and there's still nobody out. And here comes Ryan Zimmerman, the runner at second, nobody out. Nothing on the 20. That is a 3-4 for Zimmerman. Ground ball shortstop A, so with the play in front of him, Murphy will have to hold, unlike Michael Taylor did yesterday, as he went to third on a ground ball to short. But this is a totally different situation and a different runner. So that'll bring up Jason Worth. Nothing on the 20. 6-7 for Volquez against Worth is going to be a walk. So another walk. Puts runners at first and second for Stephen Drew. He's for some reason Rendon, I don't remember if he was banged up a little bit or not. He's on the roster, but he's not starting. So Drew's in his place. That's a 4, so nothing's happening. 3-4. 3-4 is a ground ball pitcher A. That's going to be a double play. 1-6-3 to get Volquez out of the inning. But the Nats say anything you can do, I can do just as well, and they do. They put up a 3 spot. So after 1 inning of play, it is the Marlins 3 and the Nationals 3. And both pitchers will try to bring some order to this ball game. Is now Strasburg's going to come back out, see what he can do, give him a second chance now with that run support. And he's going to be facing the number 8 hitter. Actually, I'm sorry, to be the leadoff hitter. I got my cards backwards. So hold on. One moment. We'll get it straight. Got everything all jammed up here, didn't I? Got it backwards. When I was trying to put everything back, I put them backwards. All right, just got to reverse everything. Take a quick second to do that. So I get everything in the right order, because naturally D. Gordon's the leadoff man. Since all 9 came to the plate last inning, D. Gordon's back in his leadoff spot against Strasburg. It's a 1-4, and that's a ground ball to short for out number 1. So much better start there for Strasburg. Now he's going to have to face JT Realmuto. It's a 2-6 for Realmuto, and that is a single. So again, when you come off the batter card, they are having their way with Strasburg. Here is Yelich. Nothing on the 20. That is a 4-5 against Strasburg's pitching card against the lefty, and that's a strikeout. So again, Strasburg showing his dominance when he can go off his own card. Here's Stanton. He got intentionally walked his first time, so this is his first chance to do something. Nothing on the 20. It's a 3-8, and that is, he did something all right. 3-8 is a, no doubt about it, home run for Giancarlo Stanton. A 2-run shot, and the Marlins now lead it by the score of 5-3. Again, that was off the batter card, so Strasburg had no say in the matter. That's the only downside to the 50-50 split thing like Strat has. Here's Justin Bour, 3-5, and that's a strikeout to end the inning. But in all fairness, the argument is on this 50-50 thing is that over a full season that will even out. But on opening day it doesn't seem that way all the time. But that's just the way it goes. So 2 runs for the Marlins, so they take a 5-3 lead going to the bottom of the second. And we will have Matt Wieters to lead things off against Edinson Volquez. So Wieters, it'll be Wieters, Strasburg, and then Turner. So 3-6 for Wieters against a right-hander is a pop out to short. 1 down. And that'll bring up Strasburg. He does have his own pitcher hitting card, so we can use that. But we're off the pitcher card. 6-10 is a ballpark single check. But with the bad weather, it's still a 1-11, so Strasburg might still get a benefit of that. He does not. It's a line out to short. Out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down. Back to the top of the order. And Trey Turner. Turner singled, stole second, and scored his first time up. 6-6 is a strikeout for Volquez, and that's going to end the inning. So Volquez settling down nicely here in the second. After 2 complete, it's the Nationals trailing the Marlins by the score of 5-3. And now Strasburg will give it another go, see if he can't turn things around. And he's going to face Marcell Ozuna, who is now a Cardinal, obviously. But he had a really, really nice year in 17 for the Marlins. It's a 5-6, which is a strikeout. It's off Strasburg's card, and so he took over. One philosophy I guess you can think of it is that it's a battle of wills between the batter and the pitcher, and sometimes the pitcher wins and sometimes the batter wins, and that's just kind of what the 50-50 split represents. Here's Dietrich. It's a 3-9, and that's a fly out to right field. Harper has it, 2 down. Here is Hechavarria. 4-5 against on Strasburg's card is a strikeout. So that time Strasburg went through the order 1, 2, 3, no problem. So maybe he's settled in. See if it's too late or not. But they're only down by 2 runs, so they have the sticks that can come back in the game very quickly. And Volquez is not exactly Cy Young. So Volquez will come back out to start the bottom of the third. And he's going to be facing Adam Eaton. So Eaton steps to the plate. That is a 5-11 against Volquez, and that's a 1-9 for, I'm sorry, I'm looking at 6-11. 5-11 is a fly ball to left field X. So that's Ozuna, and Ozuna is a 2E5. That is a 19, so we know he gets to it. It's a 15, checking the E5, and there is no 15, so it's a good play. So fly ball to left. 1 away for Bryce Harper. Harper against Volquez. So 1-5, and that's a lead or 1-out walk rather. I looked at 2-5 and it was a home run, but it was actually a 1-5. Harper is not going to go anywhere. Murphy to the plate. Nothing on the 20. We get a 4-7 against a lefty. And that's another walk. So Volquez having some control issues. Puts the first 2 on, and that's not what you want. Well, after 1 out. But you don't want to start walking guys when you're trying to protect a lead. Here's Zimmerman. Oops, nothing on the 20. It's a 4-4 against a right-hander. Fly ball center field X. That's Yelich. And Yelich is a 2E1, so we ought to make that play. 2 and an 8, he gets in front of it. Or gets to it, I should say. That's a 14, a E1. There is no 14. So he is a 2, and that is a 8. 2 and an 8 is an F2. But I don't think anything happens with the runner at second on an F2. Let's double check that and make sure. Look at the F2. F2. A runner on second may tag up and try to advance. Computer save chances his running speed plus outfielder's arm. Okay, so he has a chance to go to third. So can't totally discount that. So the runner Harper, let's check his speed rating. Harper is a 13. The arm rating of Yelich is a -1. It's a 12. So 1 to 12, he'll make it to third. 13 and 19, he holds. 20, he's out. So 4, he made it to third. So Harper will get to third on that fly out. It's another thing I like about the Super Advanced is you get these little nuances that you would not get in the Advanced or the Basic. So now runners are at the corners with 2 outs for Jason Worth. Big RBI situation here. 2 outs, runners at the corners. Worth, nothing on the D20. 110 is a strikeout. So typical Jason Worth, striking out when it's a big situation. And after 3 complete, it is still 5-3 in favor of the Marlins. So we'll go to the top of the 4th. Strasburg back out there, trying to build on what he did last inning. And he's going to face the pitcher Volquez to lead things off. Volquez uses pitcher rating card number 3. But again, we're off Strasburg. 6-2 is actually going to be a walk. How about that? A leadoff walk to Volquez, the pitcher. Very unusual, but that's what came up. Brings up D. Gordon. And we get nothing on the 20. That's a 2-8 for Gordon against a right-hander. Is a single to left field. So first 2 are on, and the Nats bullpen starting to see some activity down there. I'll bring up Realmuto. 2 on, nobody out. Nothing on the 20. It's a 5-3, and that's a fly ball left field X. That could be trouble because Worth is not a good fielder. In fact, he's a 4 E10. 4 and a 4 is probably going to drop in for a hit. Almost guaranteed. In fact, it's a double with 2 stars. And that's a 13 on an E10. There is no 13, thank goodness for him. But it will be a double with 2 stars for Realmuto. That will score Volquez to make it a 6-3 game and move Gordon to third base. So now we're going to get a pitching change because Strasburg just didn't have it. That's no other way to say it. He just didn't have it. And they'll bring in a lefty relief pitcher. Strasburg scheduled to bat third this inning, but or next inning, but they're going to go to a lefty just to get through this inning, and then worry about relief pitching later. So that's actually going to be Oliver Perez, the lefty. So Oliver Perez is in, and he is going to be facing Christian Yelich. So we got lefty on lefty matchup. So into the game is Perez. We'll mark him off the availability list. Put him in. Runs at second and third. The infield's going to come in. They need to choke off a run if they can. Check the D20, and there's a 2, so a chance for either a balk or a pass ball. And we're checking the pass ball rating of Wieters. And he's got a pass ball rating of 0, so he cannot have a pass ball. So we go forward. It's a 3-5 against a lefty. 3-5 against a lefty is a 1-6 single. And 7-20 is a ground ball B. So we'll check if it's 7-20, we'll check the base running situation. It is a 7-20, so we need to take a look here and see my little cheat sheet out with the ground ball B. So we go here to the back of the book and we look at infield in, ground ball B with the bases loaded. It says 7. I'm sorry, second and third. It says 7. 7 says batter safe, lead runner out. So how about that? The lead runner is out. It was a ground ball to third, so Drew throw home and got Gordon at the plate. He's out 5-2 for out number 2. Yelich will reach on the fielder's choice, and Realmuto will go to third. So runners are at the corners with 2 outs now for Giancarlo Stanton. And Perez is going to stay in there, even against the right-hander. That's a 1, so we got a chance for a wild pitch. Perez's wild pitch rating is a 6, and that would bring home a run if he does it. And he does. They choke off the run with the infield in, but then they wild pitch in the run anyway. Go figure on that one. So that run will score, and now runners at first with 2 outs for Stanton. Nothing on the 22nd time around. 6-7 against Perez for a right-hander is a strikeout. So that's going to end the inning, but 2 more runs come across the plate. 1 on the double by Realmuto and 1 on the wild pitch. And the Marlins lead at 7-3 as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Marlins kind of surprising some folks by what they're doing to the Nationals in this game. And guess what? It's no longer early. So they're doing it big time. And I'll get my card straight here. Volquez being given every opportunity to get the victory. He will be facing Stephen Drew, Matt Wieters, and then a pinch hitter for Perez. Here's Volquez. It's a 3-8 for Drew against a righty. It's a strikeout. So that's out number 1. Here's Matt Wieters. Wieters, a 1-8, is a ground ball to the pitcher. That's out number 2. And now they're going to bring in Adam Lind. So Adam Lind is going to pinch hit for Strasburg here in the bottom of the 4th. Adam Lind. So Lind, get his card out. Adam Lind will pinch hit. That's a 6-12. And a 6-12 is actually, no, Volquez is a 6-8 for injury, not 6-12. So 6-12 would go to his cards. Ground ball first base X. That's Justin Bohr, who happens to be a 5 rated first baseman. He's a 5-E2. That is a 13, so it's got to be a base hit when you're a 5, I would think. Let's take a look here. First baseman 5 and a 13. No, he actually gets to it. How about that? There's a 14, and he's an E2. 14 and an E2. He actually made the play. So after I said everything bad about Bohr, he makes the play anyway. And the inning is over. So nothing doing for the Nats. After 4 complete, it's Nationals trailing the Marlins by the score of 7-3. And now we need a new pitcher for the Nationals. Another lefty, because we got some lefties coming up. Bohr and Dietrich, 2 of the first 3 are lefties. So they're going to go to Sammy Solis out of the bullpen. Another lefty. Sammy Solis. So Solis is in. Adam Lind failed in his pinch hitting duties. And he'll be facing Justin Bohr to start out the 5th. Lefty on lefty. That's a 1-3 against a lefty, and that's a walk. So not exactly a good start for Sammy Solis by walking the first batter. Brings up Ozuna. Check the D20. Nothing there. That's a 2-9 against a lefty, and that's a strikeout. So much better result there. 1 away for Dietrich, another lefty. So lefty on lefty again. That's a 3, nothing happening. 6-7, Solis against a lefty. 6-7 is a ground ball, second base B. So there's a fielder's choice, 4-6. as Murphy goes to Turner the short way to get the force. 2 down for Adeiny Hechavarria, shortstop. Nothing on the 20. 1-8 against a lefty is a fly to center, and that's going to end the inning. So nothing doing for the Marlins. We go to the bottom of the 5th, and the score is still Marlins comfortably in front 7-3. And Volquez coming back out again. His point of weakness inning begins right now. He's got a 5 there, so his point of weakness will start right now. Here's Trey Turner. 5-8 for Volquez is a ground ball to short. 1 away. So Volquez, to his credit, has settled down where Strasburg could not get settled in. Here's that Eaton. 1-11 for Eaton is a ground ball to short. That's 2 down. So 2 easy ground balls for 2 outs. Here's Bryce Harper. That is a 6-6 for Harper against Volquez, a lefty. 6-6 is a walk. So a 2-out walk. And that will bring up Murphy. So Murphy will step to the plate. Roll the D20. Nothing there. 6-8 against a lefty for Volquez. 6-8 is a 1-13 single. 14-20 will be a ground ball to first. And that's a ground ball to Bohr, and the inning is over. So nothing doing for the Nats. We played 5 complete. And the score, if I can show the scorebook and have it show up correctly, is the Marlins 7 and the Nats 3. Now this video has gone on kind of a long way because I did that introduction, and my camera will split the video up in half if I go too long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to play innings 6, 7, and 8, and then come back and play the 9th, and then wrap things up. So we'll be back for the 9th inning. Right now those scores 7-3. We'll see what it is come the 9th inning. Okay, we're back to start the top of the 9th. Things did not go any better for the Nationals. They gave up 3 more runs, 1 in the 7th and 2 in the 8th. It is now a 10-3 game in the 9th. The Marlins are at the plate. New pitcher for the Nationals is lefty Enny Romero, and he'll be facing pinch hitter Miguel Rojas, who is pinch hitting for the relief pitcher Barraclough, who went 2 shutout innings for the Marlins. So Rojas gets the nod to start the top of the 9th. Against the lefty Romero, it's a 1-7. 1-7 against a lefty is a ground ball to short, and that's 1 away. That will send up the top of the order in D. Gordon. Gordon's had a good day. 3 hits, 3 singles, stolen base. 5-9. Romero lefty on lefty is a strikeout. So D. Gordon doesn't end well. He started well, but didn't end well. But it really doesn't matter. They're up 10-3. Here's Realmuto. More like Dolphins over the Redskins than Marlins over the Nats. 5-6 for Realmuto, a right-hander. A 5-6 is a strikeout for Romero. So at least Enny Romero pitches 1 shutout inning. He is the 6th Nationals reliever to be used. All right, now we're going to use... We've already used Tazawa and Barraclough, so now they're going to be using, to finish things off, Brad Ziegler. So Ziegler, check that, not Ziegler, my bad. With the 10-3 lead, they're going to use, and also ran, in Nick Whitgren. So Nick Whitgren will come in, and he'll be facing Stephen Drew, Matt Wieters, and Michael Taylor, who will pinch hit for Romero. So it's going to be Drew, Wieters, and Taylor. Start the bottom of the 9th of a 10-3 game. It's a 3-7 for Drew against a right-hander, and it's a strikeout plus injury, but I'm not doing injuries because I'm doing as played. So that's 1 away. Brings up Matt Wieters. Wieters, a 6-6. He's a switch hitter batting left. 6-6 is a walk off of Whitgren. So a 1-out walk, and now that brings up officially Michael A. Taylor, to pinch hit here in the 9th. for Romero. Runner at first, so we roll the D20. Nothing happening. 2-8 for Taylor. 2-8 is a strikeout, so a pinch hit strikeout. He just missed a double or a home run with a 2-9 or 2-10, but a 2-8 is a strikeout. So 2 down, 1 out to go to end the ball game. And it's Trey Turner. Nothing happening there. Turner a 3-4. 3-4 is a ballpark single check, and for a right-hander, it is 1-11. And he will get the base hit, so it's a single for Turner. And Wieters will stop at second. Runners at first and second, 2 outs for Adam Eaton. Nothing on the 20. 1-7 for Eaton. A 1-10 is a single with 1 star. That would load the bases on a 1-10. And he does. So the bases are now loaded. Bases are now loaded for Bryce Harper. Could at least make it interesting if he could put 1 out. Nothing on the 20. It's a 3-7 for Harper, and he's going to hit a ground ball to first. It's going to end the inning as Justin Bour steps on the bag. Not only end the inning, but end the ball game. And that's going to do it. The Nationals, a very rough, very, very rough opening day game, losing 10-3 to the Marlins. Winning pitcher was Edison Volquez. The loser was Steven Strasburg. And not anything pretty whatsoever. Be right back with the totals. All right, so there you have the final line score. The Marlins, 10 runs, 13 hits, 1 error. They left 11 on. For the Nationals, 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors. They left 9 on. Volquez the winner, Strasburg the loser. Of course, there was no save. Nationals scored 3 runs in the first and did not score again. Look at their pitching lines. Strasburg, obviously not very good. 3 2/3, 8 hits, 7 runs, all earned. 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. Bullpen did okay except for Kelly. He ran into problems in the 8th. A little wild to hit a batter, threw a wild pitch, gave up a hit and 2 runs with 2 walks. And if we look over to the other side for the Marlins, their bullpen did very well as Volquez went 5. Oh, I forgot to put the strikeouts for Volquez. Let me total up his strikeouts real quick. Thought I did that. 1, 2, 3. Looks like just 3. So Volquez actually survived walking 6. 5, but he only gave up 1 hit, so that was a big difference. So 3 runs, 2 were earned because there was the error, the 2-base error on Hechavarria that allowed that 3rd run to score unearned. Then Tazawa pitched the 6th. Barrowclaw went 2 innings, 7th and 8th, giving up nothing. And then Whitgren pitched the 9th. Struggled with 2 hits and a walk to leave the bases loaded, but then got out of it to end it by getting Harper to ground to first with the bases loaded. So there you have it. Final score, again, not a very close game, obviously. Final score 10-3. So tough day for the Nationals, especially since I was using the Nationals broadcaster Bob Carpenter's scorebook. But it's a neat scorebook. It's very durable. Like I said, it reminds me a lot of the 1-for-5 scorebook I got for the payoff pitch game last year for the Orioles. Except inside, of course, is a lot more detailed. You can see the blank portions there and what you can do with it. You can lay it flat and then do the one side. It's nicer. It would be nicer to have everything on one page, but to make things this big and this detailed, you would have to do it this way. So I'm assuming when they broadcast, they do one side here and one side here and have everything in front of them. They've got all the, whatever peripheral information they want to put in there. But anyway, that's going to do it from here. The 2017 opening day game between the Nationals and the Marlins is in the books. Marlins with the victory by the final score of 10-3. So, hope you all enjoyed that. And until next time, hope you enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And as always, I will see you all down the road.